Hey y'all, Happy New Year and welcome back to All About April. I am so excited for today's episode because I am going to be highlighting my most anticipated reads of 2025. I know that there are a lot of lists out there, but I want to highlight some books that are near and dear to me. So go on ahead, get that money ready, get those pre-orders in because these books you definitely don't want to miss. Starting out with book number 1. This is going to be Parachutes by my girl, Takira Allen. Now, this is going to be Parachutes book 3. Parts 1 and 2 have already been released. I've read part 1. Tali and Dalvin still have me reeling from their story. I have not read part 2 yet. I want to wait till it gets closer to the release date from book 3 before I dive in. But I just know that she is going to leave us in this emotional state. Takira is so good at giving you a book hangover when she's done with the books, and she's already stated she's given us too many happy endings. So that means that however this book ends is probably not going to be what many of us anticipate, which means that I am ready for whatever she is ready to deliver to us. I often mention that one of my favorite things about Takira is that she really listens to the characters and she writes based on that. And so this is why we get such wonderful books. There is no release date yet, but y'all know once I know, you will know too. So be ready for that. Moving on to book number 2. This is going to be Yes, Captain by Maureen Smith. Yes, Captain is also going to be book 4 of the Denver Rebels series. Now, book 1 details Nadia and Reed's story, Wicked Games. Book 2, it details Vigo and Scarlett's story, The Swede. Book 3 details Logan and Meadow's story, Sinbin, and then obviously you're gonna have Hunter and Sonara's story with book 4. Now we've been waiting for this book for a while. Book 3 actually came out in around 2019, and she has promised that it's coming in this year 2025. However, there is no particular release date with it. Maureen does such a good job of connecting families, romance, and just understanding the interconnectedness of the spiciness as well within stories. Some people are afraid to really go there, and I've heard that there are going to be some elements of BDSM in there. I don't know, but we just gonna wait and see exactly what it is. I know that she is going to give us everything with the way that she's been writing in that lab. So again, when I know, you gonna know, but just go ahead and have those coins ready. Moving on to book number 3, and we're gonna stay in the romance genre. I love A.E. Valdez. So we are also going to have a completion of a series. Are y'all noticing a trend here? All the girlies are finishing up these series and we are just here for it. But this is going to be the completion of the Three Kings Billionaire series. And this is going to be North's story, North King's unexpected inevitability. Now, I do have a release date for it, and it is for the lovers, February 14th. All right, so going ahead, you can pre-order this as well. It is ready for you to do that. Now, book 1 detailed Snow and Noel's story. Book 2 detailed Winter and Eve's story. And book 3 is going to detail North, the younger sibling of Winter and Snow. Meanwhile, Aspen is the younger sibling of Noel from book 1. They have managed to develop a very deep friendship that obviously has evolved into something more. But what does this more look like? I don't know, but that's why I'm ready to read it. I love A.E. Valdez because she's so good at including elements where, yes, there's romance, but there's a soft romance element to it. You really truly feel exactly where the characters are. It's always a dual POV, which I personally love. And the resolve is just always so beautiful. You get the family and friends element also added into it, and why wouldn't I want it? The cover is absolutely gorgeous, so just prepare yourself for a story that will leave you in awe in all of its glory. Now, the next book that I am excited for is going to be Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan. This is going to be, once again, the completion of the Skyland series. However, in this particular book, we are focusing on Hendrix's story. Hendrix has been the single friend who has been there for her married friends. However, she's also been the rich auntie because, she has some extra funds and time to be able to donate to others. But I will say, like, as a single person, a lot of times we give and it's not always reciprocated in the way that maybe we would like, especially in relationships. But what happens whenever she meets this tech mogul who is willing to give and show her all the things that she so rightfully deserves? I cannot wait for this book. And I also am excited for this because I don't really know if I'm trying to think of a book like this that has been out and where Kennedy Ryan is really gonna take this, because there are so many successful single Black women out there. And I think that this is going to hit in special places for many of us out there. So once again, prepare yourself for the release of this book. This release is set to come on May 13th. Yes, I'm so excited. And apparently there are some arcs that are going to be coming available maybe on NetGalley, so be ready for that. Moving on to the next book is going to be Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. Now, it is a romance book. It is not tied to a series because, she has the Part of Your World series and the Friend Zone series. This is completely different. The release date for this book is set for April 1st. But for this particular book, the FMC pretty much, she feels she has a mess of her life. And this is based on the circumstances of her family. She meets this guy who initially is a nemesis, and then they end up having this great night together. But after the night ends, she's like, forget me. Like, I can't give you something based on the life that I have. But once again, Abby is going to do something to remind us that your circumstances does not eliminate you from being able to have, accept, and just be loved. And I love that Abby writes books to remind us this. It doesn't matter if it's a family circumstance, it doesn't matter if it's a career, it doesn't matter if it's a health issue. You deserve to be loved on in all capacities. So listen, I already have this book pre-ordered. I don't know about you, but go ahead and get yourself together so you can have it too. The next book that I am highly anticipating is coming from Mr. S.A. Cosby. Now, he was a new to me author last year whenever I read All the Sinners Bleed, and I loved Adam Lazar White's narration of it. I did it through audiobook, just phenomenal. This book is set to be released on June 10th, but with this particular book, the MMC Roman goes home due to a tragic accident with his father. Based on this tragic accident, he also realizes that he has to save his family, in particular his brother, from some gangsters. Think Godfather type of move that's going on. In the midst of all of this, people are also wondering exactly what happened to his mom. She disappeared whenever they were young, but it's come back up. So finding out about your mama, some Godfather type crime stuff, child, I am ready to buy and listen, all right? Because I just know that this is going to be phenomenal. So if you haven't read an S.A. Cosby book, I don't know what you're waiting on, but go on ahead and prepare yourself for greatness. The last book that I am highly anticipating in reading is by Perkins-Valdez. If you know nothing about her, you should have already read Winch and Take My Hand. I own them. I love them. They are just everything to me. She also has another book called Balm. But in this particular instance, she is taking on historical fiction and giving us a story called Happy Land. In this particular book, she is reminiscing on this Black kingdom that existed after the Civil War ended. So Vanessa Miller touched on it last year in a particular book that she wrote. But I am just highly anticipating this because Perkins-Valdez, she does such a great job of connecting fiction and history together. There's so much learning that happens within her books as you are reading these particular novels. And I am just so excited because of her awareness and also her level of depth that she gives us within these books. I don't think that any of us can truly understand exactly what comes from knowing that you are going to get a book that involves so much history, but also a moment to reflect. And considering, yes, there was a time where a Black kingdom existed in this country, especially after the Civil War ended, knowing what Reconstruction means, I just know that she is going to put her foot in this book. So I just can't describe enough why I am waiting for this. Now, the release date for Happy Land is set for April 8th. So once again, get your coins ready. Let me know which books you are ready to read. Trust me, I want all of them. Let me know if there are any that you've heard of, that you haven't heard of, that you are going to go ahead and pre-order yourself. I can't wait to share them once they do come out on this particular channel, because I just know that they are all going to be special, because these authors never fail to give us less than just amazing reads. So thank you for joining me today. So excited to be able to share these books with you, and I cannot wait until the next time to share even more. Bye, y'all.